The biggest name in the running back class here, by far, not even a close second. Let's be very clear about that there. And that's Ashton Jeanty of Boise State. Who would have thought we'd have a big name from Boise State coming out there?
Boise.
They've been like the bluegrass school forever. They had a couple of, decent players coming out, but a top end talent is something you don't really see often from Boise State here. But Ashton's 21 years old, 5'9", 215 pounds, from Jacksonville, Florida. Comes from a military family as well. Spent some of his childhood over in Europe, actually. Even started playing high school football in Europe before literally asking his parents to come back to America so we can get more opportunity to, get a college scholarship and everything for football, because obviously not a lot of college scouts going to Italy to watch military families that are playing football. Just surprisingly enough, they don't seem to get that very often. It's amazing.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They brought over football scouts, but it was spelled different.
First season there, 22, he had 821 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1,347 yards and 14 touchdowns. Now that alone is a damn good year, guys, right? That's a damn good year.
Yeah.
This year, 24, 375 carries, 2,601 yards, 6.9 yards per carry average, 29 touchdowns, 23 catches, 138 yards, and a touchdown as well. A 94.9 PFF grade, which, goddamn, if you're in the 80s, you're doing good. You got like a 95. That's ridiculous. Finished second overall in the Heisman Trophy voting. Was the 24 Maxwell Award winner, Doak Walker Award winner, Earl Campbell, Tyler Rose Award winner, consensus first team All-American, was a first team All-American last year, 2-time Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, 2-time first team All-Mountain West. It's a lot of accolades. It's about as many as you can get.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just missing the Heisman, which was this close.
The
Heisman.
That's so close.
So close. Now, one of the big things that I always talk about on this show, I don't know, Rob, you pretty much typically agree with me, but feel free to disagree if you want. I don't just judge what a player does, but I judge what they do against, what kind of competition they're playing. Now, it is very safe to say that Boise State is not a powerhouse school, Rob, right? Am I crazy? Am I saying that? Is that fair statement?
You're crazy, but not for saying that.
I mean, it's not like they're Alabama, Georgia, or LSU, like, Ohio State, Michigan. Like, they're not that kind of level. They're not a small school. It's not like he came out of like some weird college no one ever heard of here. But they don't exactly play the toughest teams typically. So I knew that was going to come up. So I went ahead and got a list here for you guys of the bigger teams. This is ranked teams. Teams that are ranked at the end of the season he faced this season. Versus Oregon. 25 carries, 192 yards, 7.7 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Damn good game.
Yep.
Versus UNLV. We played UNLV twice. Once in October, 33 carries, 128 yards, 3.8 yard per carry average, and a touchdown. Volume game, I would call that. Not the greatest yards per carry, not the greatest overall, but a volume game. You still got 128 yards. In December, he played them again. 32 carries, 209 yards, 6.5 yards per carry average, and a touchdown. Safe to say he picked something up in that prior game. The one bad game he had all season long. At least, and I'm saying bad because it's bad for him based on what he's done prior. Versus Penn State. 30 carries, 104 yards, 3.5 yards per carry average. Not a great game. But that's by far his worst game, guys. By far.
I mean, he's done plenty of times going for 60+ yards per run.
Yeah, well, about 60 yards per run. How about that?
Well, not yards per run. No, I'm saying per run. There's been many of runs.
This man rushed for 1,000 yards in one season. One game, even.
I was about to say he did over 1,000 in one season, but
yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge him right now because I feel like, if anything, and this is going to be rough for me to say as a Giants fan, if anything, all the players we're going to talk about in the running back room should be calling Saquon Barkley up, calling Derrick Henry up, and purposely going out of their way to thank them, because I'm not going to call it a full-on renaissance of running backs, but people saw what the Eagles did with Saquon. People saw what the Ravens did with Derrick Henry, and they're going to look at it and go, maybe we need to get one of those.
And a lot of the guys we're going to talk about, especially the next few as well, are very similar styles.
Well, and they're going to get paid.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, because when you take a running back early, you're paying. Remember, that was one of the big things in Saquon. Like, you take him second overall, you're going to have to pay him because he's now a second overall guy. That's not a small contract. So here's the pros and cons here real quick on them. And obviously, you can imagine, most of them are pros. Every down back, though, he will need some work on receiving and pass protection. He's shown some ability to do that as far as receiving and pass protection. Just wasn't asked to do it a lot there at Boise State. So definitely some fine-tuning there. Amazing balance. Shakes off contact. I mean, it's like people hit him and he just keeps on going like nothing ever happened. It's crazy. Gets ahead of blockers at times, though, which is one issue. Like, you talked about it before, patience with a running back is key. And it's a very fine line between patience and over patience, meaning you're waiting too long and the hole's now starting to close back up again. You lost that window. So sometimes he's a little early in hitting the hole there. But again, obviously you look at the numbers, not too early.
Yeah.
It's more of an occasional, like once in a blue moon, like, whoa, that could have been a big play, but you took it a little bit too quick there. Now, the biggest concern I have personally is the carries. 594 carries the last 2 years. That's kind of scary. Like, is that going to shorten his career in the NFL? Because we talk about all the time, it's not always necessarily how many years you've been a running back, but sometimes it's also how many carries you've had as a running back. If you look at a lot of the older running backs that stay in this league a long time, minus Frank Gore, because that man was just an anomaly. Most of the guys that last forever, like the Darren Sproles kind of guys that have a role in an offense but aren't a feature back and can keep going for years and years because of that. The guys that play into their 32, 33 kind of age at that point, because even that's getting a little old for running back there. It's with most positions keep going, but that's what it boils down to. So I don't know. That's the one thing that scares me. That's not as scares you, Rob, or you think that I'm just overthinking this?
I mean, you have right to be scared by that, but like when it comes to the college aspect of it, like I don't know. They will, whoever gets this guy, he's going to be ready to go week 1 come the season coming up. Yeah. I mean, they're probably going to plug him in, and hopefully they limit his snaps right away, because he's a guy that will be getting those 30 carries per run. He's going to be someone like Derrick Henry, Barkley, kind of mixed with maybe like a little bit of a, I don't know what I was supposed to go with that.
See, my concern is he Todd Gurley? Like, is that where he's going to be because of all the carries? That's a ton of carries. You look at guys in the NFL, when you see someone hit the 300 carry mark, you're like, woo, and you see a decline because a lot of those guys can't take that kind of hits. He took 300 carries a year for 2 years straight. He was the offense at Boise State.
He was, but he also got a lot of touchdowns, so he wasn't going to hit every time. He had a good ability to get out of the way. So
I don't disagree. He got a lot of touchdowns, but I can't look at his numbers and go, well, he got a ton of touchdowns. That's not probably not there. It's not like he got 75% touchdowns here. I mean,
just saying every hit, every time he ran.
Okay, fine. Let's say he took 520 carries. Okay, I mean, like, I'm still saying, like, there's still a lot of hits in that, and that's going to scare you a little bit because of the position he plays and because of what you know. What I wonder is going to happen though is there going to be a team that thinks they are a player away, a running back away from winning right now, and do they go, you know what? Let's get this guy. Let's be this last puzzle piece. And I don't know who that's going to be there. I mean, I could see a team like Cincinnati trying to get him there, but I don't know where he's going to go. And that's part of the question because he's such a dynamic player Does someone go, you know what? It's early, but look at that talent.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he's going to go to a team that thinks they're a player away, that's legit a player away, because I don't think he's going to make it that far down the drafts. And where he's going to get picked is he's going to be dynamic.
Yeah.
And help the team, but I don't think it's going to be one of those teams that think, oh, we're that good, but we're still picking pretty high in this draft.
I'm just looking at. I'm looking right now at the top picks in this draft here, and you got Chuba Hubbard that just got extended in Carolina 8. That's so I wouldn't take him there. The Jets are in love with the tight end. So before that, top 6 picks, you already know where that's probably going. The Saints, would they do it? The Bears, I mean, imagine putting Caleb Williams and Jeanty together. Like, that's insane. The Niners, well, they got CMC. I mean, would they do that? The Cowboys would probably freaking love to have him.
Probably.
I think somewhere the top 10 is probably where he should be talent-wise, I think. But I think he'll be at the very worst case a top 15 pick as Rob will sneeze his webcam off somehow. I'm not sure how the electronics behind that, but you also got your mic off apparently here. There you are.
Let's go for the mute. I missed it.
So what do you think? Is that around where you're thinking as well, a top 10, top 15 kind of talent there? Do you think there might be some slippage because of the position?
No, I think he's going to get grabbed top 15. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's top 10, but he's just that dynamic of a player.
I think someone's going to trade down for him personally. I do think that there's a team that's going to go, you know what? This is the missing piece. We need him. Let's go get him. And I don't know who that's going to be because I think it's going to be some kind of team we're probably not even thinking of, to be very frank with you. So I'm not even trying to guess at who.
Atlantic Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons get another running back now.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.